Hello there, and welcome to my very first idle game review. And this one, we're going to go over the game Magic Research. And before I get started, a couple of words as an intro for this playlist. In my free time, I do play a lot of idle and incremental games because, the videos I do regularly, like the gameplays and the tutorials and guides I do, that's a lot of cerebral work. And idle games and incremental games, they are quite easy in their flow, and I really love them to play them when I'm feeling a little bit burned out, when I just want to unwind myself, or if I just have some time to fill where I just want to game on a little bit. That being said, I am a very, very active gamer in this area, and since I've been now down to so many games, I felt like I want to do this video series for you folks to give you an impression about which games are worth picking up and what's good about them and all these things. So that being said, please feel free to leave me your comments down below, which games you'd like me to review if there are any, or what you're personally thinking about this idea, because I really want to recommend all the good stuff that I've seen so far, because there's a lot of janky and underdeveloped games out there, but there's also a lot of idle and incremental games that are so active in their gameplay that they almost don't feel like an idle game. That's the perfect start for this video about Magic Research. So first off, I want to give a quick summary about the game, then we're going to go deeper into the mechanics and all the moving parts, and then my personal opinion about this game and why I do recommend it. So a quick summary first. We're playing here as the headmaster of a magic school. So you have to build your campus. This is the building menu. You have to collect resources. You collect these via casting spells that summon these resources. You can enchant your buildings that produce resources. You have spells that pull off a nice magic show that gives you money, and there's a lot of interaction between magic and campus building, which is already a nice layer. And when you get deeper into it, you get into automation. There's an apprentice system. There's, of course, automated research to learn more spells, but there's also a monster hunting minigame, and there's a crafting minigame. And all in all, Magic Research is a really, really good idle incremental game that features a new layer and a new layer and a new layer while offering a nice RPG-like experience, because it is story-driven. There's milestones, story chapter-wise, that will give you constantly things to work towards to. And of course, it has a reset spiral via the retirement system, where you will gain more research points the more successful you were. And to make things really interesting, there's also permanent stats via the storylines that you can unlock, which give you permanent boosts. So you're basically building yourself up reset by reset like you're used to it, but with a couple of really interesting quirks. That summarizes the game so far. It's early access, so it ain't done yet, but most of these games, are they ever done? Most of these idle incremental games are made, well, to be basically infinitely expanded, but that being said, there's a lot of meat on the bone on this one. So let's get into the actual deeper review. So I want to talk about the mini games and the layers a little bit more detail, and talk about what you got to do and why it's fun to be there. So the campus building system, you see down here are our resources. We have down here the experience of our magical schools. So whenever we cast a spell, we gain experience. But since that is really not enough, we can also employ researchers, which grind that experience automatically for us. It's a pretty simple equation. The more of the researchers or the more experience you got, the more powerful the spells are that are at your disposal. So you want to get down that road as far as possible, as quick as possible, obviously. The real interesting part is that with every reset, you decide for one primary school. As you see here, the evocation school is boldly printed here. That's my main school currently. And that means that my progress here will be taken over into the next run. So my maximum level of evocation will define how much evocation I will have just to get started with the next run. So this way, every run you grind up your levels higher, you would get more base magic to begin with. That's pretty cool. The adventuring system gets unlocked after a while. You start to discover the school's basement, where you then start hunting monsters. It comes with a fully fledged crafting system, which allows you to craft consumables, weapons, armors, and accessories. And the real neat part here is that all these items are well thought through. There's no unnecessary stuff you can really use. Like 90% of these items, the only things that I didn't use sometimes were certain gear options, because I prefer a certain playstyle, but it's not like any of these items are unviable or silly. No, that's pretty cool so far. And you collect materials by slaying the monsters, obviously, and then you can craft new stuff. And when you collect or when you slay enough monsters, you unlock the ability to fight a boss, and then you unlock the next areas, and usually you get to unlock some new layer of the game or some new story progress. With every dungeon that you've beaten, you can be sure that you will unlock something new, and you will also unlock a region where you can grind up more resources. There's also a resource called Monstium, the Monsters Drop, which allows you to research several upgrades, so monster killing is a constant thing. Therefore, you can also automate it via the creatures menu. So you basically build creature pens, then you breed creatures that roam through the dungeons for you. So the game offers a lot of automation options and is therefore really well made. And what's left to say? So I really don't know where it does end. You've seen so far part of it, and to explore everything here is a pretty long task. And before you know it, you will be only part-time building your campus, because the other part of your time you will be busy adventuring down here. And to make things more interesting, you have in the magic system a lot of options. You do not only generate resources here, you have various enchantments for your character to attack better, to soak up more blows, to deal damage to the enemy, that's the evocation school, or to debuff the enemy. You can even summon allies here. The magic system is well thought through, well implemented, and it's a pleasure because the game's name is actually Magic Research, and you're supposed to play a Arc Wizard, and that feeling really comes up the longer you play this game, because you get more and more majestic, you get access to more and more magic, you gain access to more and more mana, and the longer you play this game, the more powerful you feel. And I really had not so much satisfaction while playing a game in this genre since a long time. So yeah, let's get on over to the personal opinion here, because, you know, I don't want to spoil every single detail here. I just wanted to point out that this game is like all good incremental games. It has different layers that it slowly introduces you to keep you interested. So let's formulate my opinion. I really love this game at its current stage out of two reasons. First of all, it gives me that nice RPG feeling. Like I said, I really feel like I'm doing what I'm doing. It also has a super interesting reset mechanic due to the fact that you always select what kind of school you go into. You have different spells you will be good at because you research faster if it's your main school. You even get some special perks out of that, and to top everything off, you get to select an element for each of your runs that also influences your gameplay massively. So unlike other idle games where the runs start to feel very samey very quickly, here it's not the case, because you can combine all the magic schools with different elements, and to keep things more and more interesting, you see, when you start out the game, you will only have Conjuration, Enchantment, and Illusion visible. You see how many schools of magic I have here, and I'm not sure I haven't seen all of them. Same goes for the elements. There's also elements to unlock and to discover, and that's what I want to point out, what I love about this game. There's a lot to discover. There's really a lot to explore, and it's a wonderful game to play along when you're listening to podcasts or you just want to chill out and have some pleasant grindy experience. Totally recommendable here at this end. My only downside that I see so far, the adventure system can grow a little bit grindy and repetitive over the course of the time. I mean, grindy and repetitive is the name of the game. It's just the problem to me that I have quite a lot of trouble to automate fighting properly. Yes, you have apprentices that do automatic casting for you, so all these enchantments can also be properly automated, but combat magic just didn't I just haven't had the thing going for myself. But maybe I'm just too much of a rookie yet, and I'll be unlocking something new to solve that issue. And that is why I like this game, because I always have that feeling that maybe there's some change around the corner which make this tedious affair a little bit easier to carry, and then all of a sudden a new tedious affair grows at the horizon, and you're like, there is constantly something new coming up, and I haven't lost that feeling after, let me look up, well, about 40 hours of game time here, so fully wholehearted recommend here because it is pretty good. It has constant development. The game hasn't been in a really pleasant state at some parts. It also had a really rough user interface experience early on, but the developer is showing constant work and passion for this project. So yeah, let's see where this will head, and I thank you for watching this video. Like I said, let me know what kind of idle game reviews you'd like to see here as well, because I'm quite passionate about this. I like games that play themselves. I'm just like that. If you are like that as well, let me know, leave a thumbs up, and consider subscribing, and thanks a lot for watching. See you guys next time, and have a good one.